Hey, I hope everyone's doing great today. My name's Andrew Lemoine. I'm the CEO of Autocorp Technologies. And look, I just want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Bill and his team at Cherokee Media, Auto Remarketing. Thank you so much for having me speak. I think I've spoken at Auto Remarketing for the past 3 years, and it's great to see the team at ARC, pivot and adapt to what's going on right now in the world and switch to a digital conference and not cancel the conference altogether. It's an important conference here in Canada for the automotive industry. I think it brings so many vendors, dealers, captives, and OEMs together. And there's valuable insights and knowledge that always come out of these events. And while we're not going to get the same networking face-to-face that we've got at the previous years, I'm sure we're going to make that up in the future. I'm sure we'll make it up next year. There's still going to be so much valuable content that's going to be able to be extracted from this event. So I really do appreciate you watching me here. Okay, and what I want to talk to you about today, the name of my talk is Credit Last, the Silent Deal Killer. Okay, it's exactly what it is. But first, here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine that we're going shopping for a house. Okay, we're going to go shopping for a house. And we're going to go look at a couple houses, right? I like nice houses, all right? I'm going to go look at a couple, $2-3 million houses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an appointment with my real estate agent. We're going to go check the houses out, okay? We're going to schedule an appointment to go in and see them, and we're going to walk through the whole house, okay? And, we're not even just going to go walk through one house. We're going to look at 2 or 3 because, we're interested in a few houses. And, we're going to take time off work. We're going to bring our partner. We're going to walk through them all. Right, we're gonna visualize where we want to put the furniture, how we want to paint the walls. We might even snap a couple pics for Facebook, right? Share it with some of our friends. We're gonna negotiate the price for the house, okay? And we're actually even gonna talk about the closing date, right? We're gonna get right down to the closing date. When do we want to take possession? Okay, we're gonna do all that, and then once that's all done, we're going to try to get approved for financing for that house. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Of course it doesn't. So why do we let that happen every single day in the automotive industry? I mean, if you think about it, we are a credit last industry. Like, it's one of the last steps in the shopping cycle that your customers are doing. They're doing all that research online. Okay, they're booking the appointment at the dealership. They're coming in, they're test driving cars. They're having their trades appraised. They're negotiating price. They're spending hours with your salespeople, with your managers. Only at the very end of the transaction to be introduced to the mystical finance manager behind the painted glass wall. And only at that point do we look at their credit. And I know you know the stat. You probably know what I'm about to say. Over a third of Canadians don't qualify for prime financing. So how many dealerships spend all that time, right, negotiating, appraising, just to have the customer declined? What kind of experience does that set up for your dealership, for your staff? More importantly, what kind of an experience does that set up for the customer? I think we can all agree that it's a terrible experience for both parties. You see, the number one asset, the most valuable asset from anyone today, the customer and the dealer, is time, right? See, as an industry, we need to get more efficient with time. Now, digital retail is the talk of the town, right? It's the buzzword. Everyone's talking about it. And a lot is going digital. COVID has definitely sped some of that up. Okay? But guys, over 94% of transactions in Canada require some form of financing or leasing. How much digital retail can we really talk about? Like, how deep into digital retail can we really get? How e-com can we really lay claim to e-commerce if there's no sense of credit or financing introduced early on and up front? You see, I spend a lot of time on dealers' websites. I see a lot of dealers using, third-party call to actions, information, valuations, all sorts of stuff on their websites, okay? What I don't see a lot of is a lot of focus around financing. Yet it's something that we know most of your shoppers, most of the customers require to do. Look, I'm seeing the best real estate on your sites being used for some low converting inquiry, right? One of the highest converting leads that a dealer can get, you probably know this, it's a credit application, right? On average, over 35% of credit apps result in a deal at Canadian dealerships. You show me another lead source, another stat that converts over a third. So as an industry, why don't we have so much focus on credit and credit first? Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about some stats. Look, it's estimated that 7 out of 10 Canadians don't know what their credit score is. Something even scarier than that is of the 7 out of 10 Canadians that don't know their credit score, it's estimated that 40% of them don't want to know their credit score. Now, why would somebody not want to know their credit score? It's because they don't understand it, right? They don't know what it means. They're afraid of it, right? There's a lack of understanding. There's an obvious lack of credit education in our country, and as an industry, there's steps that we can take to lower that gap. Now, I said moments ago that over a third of Canadians don't qualify for prime credit. But does that mean that over a third of your customers that walk through know that they don't qualify for prime credit? No, of course not, because there's a lack of credit education. So you've got customers that are showing up, 7 out of 10, okay, that don't even know what they qualify for. And then you, the dealer, show them vehicles, but you don't know what they qualify for. You got customers looking at cars and they don't know. You got dealers showing cars and they don't know. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound right. So why do we tolerate it as an industry? Look, another stat that I found shocking was that 25% of Canadians have a credit score less than 670. Okay, so what does this mean for the customers that are walking into your showroom? Well, look, you're driving them on whatever they want to see, right? Look, how do you tell what a customer's credit worthiness is when they walk in? Well, you can't, right? It's discrimination and it's ignorance. You have no way of knowing. You can't tell the credit worthiness of a customer that walks in to your showroom. So look, let's talk about what that looks like for a second. Because these 33% of customers that don't qualify for prime credit, the 25% that have a credit score less than 670, I'm not saying they don't buy cars. Look, they're still buying cars, right? They're going to end up purchasing a vehicle. Chances are they need one. The question is it going to be from you? You see, the sore part here is what ends up happening most of the time is it's the dealer that spent all the time, that spent so much time invested in the customer's shopping experience that actually loses the deal to credit last, okay? Look, the customer shows up to your showroom, okay? They walk in. They kind of know what they want. They've been looking online. They build and priced it a bunch, right? They're excited. They want to take a look at it. They meet one of your salespeople. He's great. She's great. So professional. Gives them a great experience. Gets them on a demo drive just like they're supposed to. Sells the car. Sells the car, right? Now, not just the car, right? We got 0%. We got 0.9%. We got stackable rebates. Like salespeople can't wait to tell you about the programs going on, about the rebates going on. So they're selling the car. They're selling the programs, right? They're selling the payments. We're an industry that sells payments, not cars, a lot of the times, right? They're selling the payments, okay? They're coming back. They're appraising the trade, right? These aren't window appraisals anymore. Your sales managers are going out. They're doing a full walk around. They're probably investing, loading it up on some sort of digital auction for the world to bid on. Okay, they're driving appraisals now. They're putting an ACV on the trade. We're negotiating price. Okay, you're going back and forth. Look, the people are so excited. You're getting up, you're going to the desk. Customers are so excited. They're texting their friends, we're about to get a new car. They're excited. They should be, because it should be an exciting experience. Then you shake their hand, right? Weight of the world off their shoulders. Oh, it's done. Honey, we did it. We bought a car. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Andrew, our finance manager. And then I sit there and I check their credit and deem them ineligible for the vehicle that you just spent all the time showing them, for the financing rates and incentives that you just spent all the time telling them about. What happens to that customer in that very moment in your dealership? They can't get out quick enough, okay? They cannot run for the door fast enough. Most of the finance managers don't even tell them while they're still in the store. It usually ends with, we'll get back to you really soon, right? They never come back, do they, folks? They never come back. They're embarrassed. They're embarrassed of the time that they wasted. You're upset at the time that you wasted, right? And it usually ends with a refunded deposit and a deal that you never get. Now, like I said, the need for that customer to get a new vehicle hasn't changed. Look, they still need a car. Now they go back into the world a little bit more educated, a little bit more timid, right? And a little bit more cautious about where they might qualify in terms of credit. And then they start seeking more of a credit first approach. And they go find a dealership who can get them approved and get them in a vehicle. Now, had the dealership that they originally went into taken a credit first approach from the beginning, maybe even from online, they would have been able to better serve the customer and give them the experience that they actually needed, that customer needed. You see, you need to give the customer the experience that they need and show them the car that they need to see, right? Not always the car that they think they want. And that's where our current process as an industry, it doesn't make sense. I'm shocked that it's gotten this far, credit last. I mean, the time wasted every single day in the automotive industry on credit last. You guys think about this for a minute. You're desking all the deals at the end. The financing happens at the end. Tell me how that makes sense. So this scenario happens every single day in your dealership. Happens every day. You know it does. Look, you agree with me that it doesn't make sense. It's backwards. So why do you still do it? Why is this the way we do business today? Well, it's because you don't know that there's another way. What if I told you there was? Look, let's take a look at a customer experience. Like, what would hold a customer back from wanting to get educated on credit up front? Look, when you try to take a credit first approach with a consumer, when you offer the service of a pre-approval, what's the number one objection you get from your customer? It's the number one thing you heard. I know you're saying it. The customer asks you, will this impact my credit? Right? That's the number one question you get asked. It's the number one objection. Is this going to impact my credit? Look, as an industry in Canada, historically, the answer's always had to have been yes. We didn't have another way, right? What if I told you there's another way? Look, it's invasive for a customer. They're upfront. Maybe they're not certain yet. Maybe they're just at the initial shopping stage. I don't know. They're not certain. They're checking things out. They want to see, will I get approved? Will I not? Right? Can I get finance for this vehicle? You think that would impact their decision time? You think that would speed things up a little? They knew that they could get the vehicle, right? Look, they don't want to fall too in love with the vehicle if they don't know that they're going to get it. That happens. Holds them back. What if you can give them a way to not hold them back? What if you could educate them and yourselves up front? Look, let's talk about what it does for the dealership. Because here's what I'll say. The information that you get from a credit report on your customers, it's invaluable. It is invaluable information. You see, it allows you to desk the deal properly from the beginning. Let's talk about what you get from a credit bureau. The score. We all know the score. Okay. What about other things? What about credit inquiries? What does that mean? Is the customer that's in your showroom right now an active credit seeker? Are they an active credit shopper? Is there inquiries from 4 months ago that never led to a transaction? That tells you a story. That means something. What about a trade? What about their trade lines? What about an open auto loan? Who they're currently financed with? What's the monthly payment? What's their current payment? What's the lien? What's the approximate buyout? Now we're able to gauge up front. How upside down are they? Are they upside down? Do we need to be cautious? Do we need to desk with NAGAC? Right? All that information is available through credit. Yet as an industry, you find that at the very end. Look, I'm going to share another stat with you, a shocking stat, and this one's not about the customers, this one's about the dealers. 49% of Canadian dealers aren't credit bureau enabled. What? Over half the dealers in Canada don't have the ability to pull credit. That's a choice, guys. That's just a decision. Look, as an industry, unless you're a business manager or a finance manager, we're taught to stay away from credit, right? Salespeople are taught, avoid credit, just sell the car. Sales managers and desk managers are told, just desk the deal. Let the business manager worry about credit. It doesn't make sense. Look, there's companies like Autocorp and many more that are really focusing on fintech and offering dealers and customers a solution, a digital solution and experience to really bring our industry to a credit-first place. Guys, it's time for a change, and there's no better time for a change than right now. Look, 8 months ago, did you think that you'd be bringing this many demo drives to consumers' driveways? Did you think that you'd be doing, e-signing contracts, right? Did you think that you'd be sending videos and walkarounds like this every single day to customers, avoiding customers to come in at all costs, doing as much of the deal online or digitally as you can? No, but we adapted, we changed, right? And that's what we do. So there is no better time than right now to make this change. Look, the intent, the purpose of this talk today is I wanted to get you thinking, really audit your credit process in your dealership. Like, what does that look like today? Right? Is your current process the example that I just talked about so many times in my talk? For most dealers in Canada, it is. And if it is, you need to make a change. Look, the best thing you could do is take a credit first and implement a credit first approach in your store. Think of the time it's going to save your staff. Think of the time it's going to save your customers. Think of the enhancement of the experience that you're going to create. Do you think it's going to equal more deals? It is. You think it's going to equal more gross? It is. Right? Better selection, guys. Better use of time for the customers and for your staff. It's the number one asset. Look, I appreciate you spending time with me today. And as I mentioned, I'm grateful to be talking here at Auto Remarketing Canada 2020 in this beautiful digital format. I hope you appreciated the quality of the production, the video that I shot for you. See, we have this office here. We're not using it. The whole company's working from home. So I'm glad that we were able to find use of it. And look, I appreciate you spending time with me. Again, my name is Andrew Lemoine, CEO of Autocorp Technologies. And look, if you're not doing business with us, like I said, there's many other companies out there that you can work with that are really focusing on fintech and just providing that solution and giving the dealers the technology they need to give a credit-first customer experience. Hey, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great month, a great year. We'll see you soon.